One more time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps.
I think that must be a sign for me to start the class. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to devotees to today's class. We are going to be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, verse 49, and the chapter is entitled Maharaj Parikshit cursed by the Brahmin boy. We are in this very nice discussion, this very nice part where the sage is feeling really bad as to what his son did to Maharaj Parikshit and singing the glories of a devotee, you know, and someone as great as Maharaj Parikshit. And so we're going to be going to the next verse and getting really, you know, deeper into how the sage felt. And we're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to you and Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, Haribol, my favorite Zoom lady.
By your mercy, Maharaj. By your mercy.
Not by my mercy, by your mercy. Hey, I'm just
No problem, Maharaj.
doing a little thing here. I'll be right there. Okay, coming up. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Iti putra kritam gena. Sonutapto Mahamunehi Swayam Viprakrito Rajna Naivagam Tarachintayat. The sage thus regretted the sin committed by his own son, but did not take the insult paid by the king very seriously. Purport. The whole incident is now cleared up. Maharaj Pariksit garlanding the sage with a dead snake was not at all a very serious offense, but Shringi's cursing the king was a serious offense. The serious offense was committed by a foolish child only, therefore he deserved to be pardoned by the Supreme Lord, although it was not possible to get free from the sinful reaction. Maharaj Pariksit also did not mind the curse offered to him by the foolish Brahmana. On the contrary, he took full advantage of the awkward situation. By the great will of the Lord, Maharaj Pariksit achieved the highest perfection of life through the grace of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Actually, it was the desire of the Lord and Maharaj Pariksit, Rishi Samika, and his son Shringi were all instrumental in fulfilling the desire of the Lord. So none of them were put into difficulty because everything was done in relationship with the Supreme Person. Chaksun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Sri Chaitanya manobhistam stapitam yena bhutale. Swayam rupa hidammayam dadati swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very interesting statements here, as it sums up the whole activity that has played itself out in Maharaj Pariksit being cursed to die in 7 days, and the apparent offense by Maharaj Pariksit. Now we see the whole pastime is summed up here. Everything was done by the instrument of the Lord. So the Lord has two wills, or two ways of relating to human society. He wants things to happen, and he makes it happen by his desire, or he allows things to happen because the material energy is working in a certain way. Therefore, he doesn't interfere with the activities of the material energy. But that's mostly for the non-devotees who adhere to the material energy as their all in all. Therefore, they surrender to the material energy, and then because of not being surrendered to the Lord, but therefore they work under the guidance of the material energy. They complain that their lives are being given unfair reactions to their activities. They don't know that the material energy is powerful and it's Krishna's energy, and it's something you have to respect. If you don't respect the material energy, it will cause difficulties in one's life. So therefore, devotees always respect the material energy, but they know simply the material energy is Krishna's energy. So they don't worship the Lord and disrespect the material energy or seemingly flaunt the material energy. They go along with how the material energy is aligned, and then they work in that capacity, knowing everything is controlled and operated by the Lord himself. But some people might think, or some devotees might think that, well, if everything happens under the will of the Lord, then whatever happens, it really is his will, and therefore no one's to blame for anything. Well, that's another form of illusion, of course, as it says here. there was a reaction here. On the contrary, it said that there is a reaction. And the reaction was that the Brahminical class now no longer had the position of being the absolute authority. They lost because of the offense of Shringi, and of course the Kali Yuga took that advantage and came rushing in full force. And the other thing, of course, is that Maharaj Parikshit was decided to leave his position as king of the world, which was a great loss for the world also. So yeah, although everything is the will of the Lord, still things are happening on all different levels. And one cannot use that as an excuse. Just like, well, they say that Lord is all powerful, and one cannot do anything without the sanction of the Lord. That is true. But at the same time, one cannot just do anything and blame it on the Lord. People do that. And that's why they want to be free from the activities they perform. And at the same time, when things go good, they give credit to themselves. And when things do not go according to their plan, they blame the Lord for whatever reason, because they know everything happens by the will of the Lord. So Krishna says, Maya idam tam, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhyaktam mortina matstani sarabhutani nateshu bhavayastita. He says, I'm not in the material energy. I'm outside. But at the same time, he's working within the material energy through his energies. So in that sense, he's in and out at the same time. So there are people who like to take advantage of this different dichotomies of how to see how Krishna is involved or not involved, and use it for their own disadvantage, or own advantage, not disadvantage. So this is, of course, another type of cheating, because as Krishna says in another place, I'm not the cause of anyone's happiness and distress. It's all coming under the influence of the three modes of material nature, which is my energy, of course, which he confirms that. But just like if a manufacturer makes a machine and machine works in a certain way, and you have when you buy the machine, you get a set of rules and restrictions on how to operate the machine in the best possible way. So if you use the machine in the wrong way, or you get hurt by the machine by not using it properly, you can't blame the manufacturer, because he's given the instructions on how to use the machine for one's, well, we say, benefit. So Krishna puts the material energy in place, and he teaches you how to use it for your benefit, and that is to engage it in the service of him. That's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's his energy. What is that verse? Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sachiracharam. He confirms everything is working under his energy. Daiviyesha gunamaya. He also caused that these three gunas are daivi. They're spiritual. They're not anything else but his spiritual energy, but working in a certain way. It's like you may have two kinds of cars, both are cars, but maybe the two cars have different features, and therefore they may slightly work in a different way according to the unique quality of each car. So in the same way, everything working under his control, yes, but he gives the instructions on how one can be free from the inordinate, or what we say, undesirable reactions of material energy by using the material energy in his service. And then that energy, again, attains in its pure state its spiritual nature. So everything is ultimately spiritual, everything is ultimately coming from Krishna. Well, you can't blame Krishna for your your foolishness when you don't follow his instructions. That's the point. When people don't follow the instructions or guidance of the Lord, and still they want to get the benefit of the Lord. It's like a person who's in the family who is a member of the family, but they disobey the parents. Still, they want the favor of the parents at the same time by disobeying the parents. Well, the parents will think, well, maybe that person needs some understanding on how to live in the family, and so they try to correct them. But if they're not correctable, then they get ostracized or they get punished. And this is how people live in the material world, because they try to use the material energy for their own enjoyment, and therefore it's not meant for that. Material energy is meant for Krishna's enjoyment because he created it. And we can also take advantage of that material energy and also experience some type of enjoyment when we use it for the service of the Lord. Then it becomes spiritual and everyone benefits. The operator, the energy itself, and the Supreme Lord all are, what we say, encased in the positive aspect of that activity. So here we'll see how this whole thing has been summed up as the plan of the Lord. Now this is unique in contrast to other plans of the Lord, because this was a big arrangement by the Lord so Bhagavatam could be spoken for the benefit of the entire universe. So sometimes the Lord does that, just like the Lord could have easily overtaken the Kurus when they tried to push out the Pandavas. But he didn't. He allowed Arjuna to take the credit. That's why he said, I'm not fighting, you have to fight, because I want my devotee to be glorious. And he wanted to show through that arrangement what is the philosophy, or what is the lifestyle, what is the understanding by when one can practice devotional service to him. So he takes his devotee, puts him in a difficult situation. But for a devotee, pure devotees don't mind. Actually, pure devotee would love to be in a situation where they can be used by the Lord for the Lord's purpose in spreading Krishna consciousness around the world. Even if they apparently have to undergo some difficulty and some suffering, they gladly accept that as an opportunity to serve the Lord by pushing on Krishna consciousness. We see that with Srila Prabhupada. I mean, he had to go through a lot of things that hardly anyone could survive. The 3 heart attacks and various types of reverses in his plans for spreading Krishna consciousness, an assembly of followers that were always fighting with each other. It's like, it wasn't easy. Srila Prabhupada even expressed that at one point. He said, I'm trying to, take some time and give you this Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada was translating the Srimad Bhagavatam and giving his Bhaktivedanta purpose, spending hours throughout the night. And yet he was trying to keep the society going at the same time, and devotees were not able to follow. Although they tried, they didn't disobey purposely, but there was a lot of big intelligence in those days. And everybody had their own ideas. Many of the leaders had their own ideas how things should go on. And they would sometimes get into contention with other leaders. For example, in Chicago, in those days when Prabhupada was here, to have the position of temple president was considered to be something very, very glorious, or something everybody wanted. If we could get that position of temple president, then we could also get a lot of association with Srila Prabhupada. We could be in a position of, control. and devotees aspired for that. So in Chicago, 3 devotees wanted the position of temple president. And of course, obviously, there was only one position available. So one of the devotees achieved it, and the other 2 left the temple and started their own temples. So in one sense, it was good because they spread Krishna consciousness just because of being dissatisfied and not getting their position as temple president. Of course, that mood has changed now. People don't really run to that position anymore. But it was like that in the old days. It was considered something sought after by many of the persons who had qualities to take that position. So yeah, so these are examples of how Krishna uses his devotees to spread Krishna consciousness, and the devotee is happy. There's a nice verse which illustrates this. Maybe you can turn to that verse, Anasuya. It's from the 8th canto in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's really a powerful verse. 8th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 44. Really powerful verse. Yeah. Tapyate loka tapena sarva prayaso janaham paramaradhanam taddi purushasya kilatmanaha. Please read it.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is said that great personalities almost always accept a voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. Purport. Here is an explanation of how those engaged in activities for the welfare of others are very quickly recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18:68-69, Ya idam paramam guyam mad bhakteshva abhidashyati nacham tasman manusresu kaschin me priya kritama. One who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can excel him in satisfying me by worship. There are different kinds of welfare activities in this material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities cannot be effective, for the laws of nature and the results of karma cannot be checked. It is by destiny or the laws of karma that one must suffer or enjoy. For instance, if one is given a court order, he must accept it, whether it brings suffering or profit. Similarly, everyone is under obligations to karma and its reactions. No one can change this. Therefore, the Shastra says, Tasyeva heto prayateta kovido nalhabhyate yat brahmatam upari adha. Bhagavatam 1:5:18. That must be a typo. One should therefore, for that which is never obtained by wandering up and down the universe as a result of the reactions of karma. What is that? One should endeavor to become Krishna conscious. If one tries to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, he should be understood to be performing the best welfare activity. The Lord is automatically very pleased with him. If the Lord is pleased with him, what is left for him to achieve? If one has been recognized by the Lord, even if he does not ask the Lord for anything, the Lord who is within everyone supplies him whatever he wants. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Tesham nityam biyuktanam yoge shemam bahamyaham. Again, as stated here, tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayasujana. The best welfare activity is raising people to the platform of Krishna consciousness, since the conditioned souls are suffering only for want of Krishna consciousness. The Lord himself also comes to mitigate the suffering of humanity. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyaham paritrana paritranaya sadunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanartaye taya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. Bhagavad Gita 4:7-8. All the Shastras conclude, therefore, that spreading the Krishna consciousness movement is the best welfare activity in the world because of the ultimate benefit this bestows upon people in general. The Lord very quickly recognizes such service performed by a devotee.
Now, this particular verse comes in relationship to Lord Shiva, who, during the churning of the milk ocean, before they could get the nectar that was due to that churning, the poison had to come out first. And this is very much analogous of the process of purification. Before we can get the nectar of Krishna consciousness, we have to purify ourselves. And purify ourselves means to get rid of those attachments, desires, wrong activities that are what we say poisonous to our spiritual progress. So here we see Lord Shiva. He's willing to drink an ocean of poison simply to save the souls in the universe. So he's undergoing some difficulties, some suffering, but he doesn't mind because, of course, he's powerful, but at the same time, he's sacrificing for the benefit of others. So this is what it means to preach Krishna consciousness. It's not easy in Kali Yuga because people don't want it. And there's always reverses. So Lord Jesus Christ was killed. He tried to, preach Krishna consciousness. Srila Haridas Thakur was beaten in 23 marketplaces, but he kept his focus on preaching Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj didn't give up his Krishna consciousness because his father was trying to kill him. He kept preaching to his father. Well, there's many examples. These are the main ones, but there are many. How one who undergoes preaching in Krishna consciousness, there is always opposition. There is difficulty. There is sometimes criticism. There is sometimes humiliation. There is so many things, but devotees don't mind that because they know that whatever they're doing, it's in line with the desire of the Lord for the benefit of, and the main thing here is that the Lord comes personally to do this work. So anyone who takes up this work is actually doing the work of the Lord, who comes to do it himself. So that's why it's very dear. That's why one who becomes very dear to the Lord. And it says here, that person doesn't have to ask anything from Krishna. Krishna supplies everything they need and more. Even if they have a desire and they think, oh, I shouldn't ask the Lord for this, the Lord will say, oh, they have that desire, so he will give it automatically. That's Krishna. He's very grateful. And this verse kind of illustrates it too. So it's a very important part. And Maharaj Parikshit was used. I mean, he had to give up his life. But he made the proper preparations before leaving the body. He was, unrivaled in the world. He had beautiful wife, qualified, ministers, allegiance, power, no opposition within the world. He was the undisputed king of the world. He was a devotee, treasury, everything was there. People would do anything to get that position, but he just left it all. As I said, he could have counteracted the curse, but he didn't. He accepted it as the will of the Lord. And he was used to spread Krishna consciousness in a very direct way, as the Lord wanted Srimad Bhagavatam spoken for the benefit of the world. So, of course, not everyone gets this opportunity, but devotees pray like that. Just like we have, one particular devotee in our movement gave up his life in order to show compassion to the fallen conditioned souls in the world. That happens. Not only one, but many devotees have sacrifices their life in order to preach Krishna consciousness. Going behind the Iron Curtain, taking on the sinful reactions of the people in general. Devotees are many of them are very much, because they know that this pleases the Lord the most. And it's not that the Lord puts them in these situations, but these situations happen, and because of that, they accept it as an opportunity to serve the Lord. As it says here, they voluntarily suffering because of the suffering. This is considered the highest method of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So his verse is very fundamental in understanding the heart of the Lord. So everyone should think, what can I do to spread Krishna consciousness? That would be, what can I do to somehow be instrumental in spreading the mercy of the Lord to others? Everyone should think like that. And then by the Lord's arrangement, Krishna will give you the opportunity. Okay, we can stop there.
Thank you so much for this really thought-provoking class, Marge, especially the conclusion of it. What can we do to spread Krishna consciousness? I'm going to stop sharing, and I would like to request devotees, if you can please turn on your videos wherever possible, and in whatever situation you're in, so that we can have each other's association. Marge, there was already a question in the chat that I'm going to read, and this is by Mohanasini Radha. She said, does that mean that one should be trampled upon, degraded, and humiliated to please Krishna, despite the fact that something illegal has been done against us?
I will not answer that question because I know where she's coming from. To tell her, I'll talk to her personally on that.
All right, Marge. And she said that she had to leave, but but she will watch the recording later. So
To tell her, I'll give her a phone call.
all right, Marge.
So
Any questions from devotees that you would like to add? This is a very, very deep, and as much, especially the last verse, when you were, concluding with the point, we should, each one of us should ask ourselves, what can we do to spread Krishna consciousness, to serve the Lord, to serve Srila Prabhupada? I was thinking of a sharing that one devotee shared with me. His father visited our temple a couple of years ago, and he was sharing with us. He says, Mataji, Prabhupada sacrificed so much for us. It's making me think, can I even do 1% of the sacrifice? Like he was thinking like that, and he was sharing with us as how can we get in that that mood or that character or that, that behavior of that sacrificial mood, Maharaj. Like, how can we really understand that and grasp it, Maharaj?
Well, that means we have to use a cliche, we have to get out of our comfort zone. To preach Krishna consciousness, like I said, is not easy in Kali Yuga, or to be an instrument for Krishna's mercy to others requires some effort and making some personal, you may have to put aside, just like when a person wants to get an education in a university, the student is there. They might be invited to so many parties and programs with their friends, and they may also want to do other things, but they want that degree so bad, so they push it all aside and spend time to emphasize the importance of going to the university. So in the same way, there's things we have to just push aside that we would like to do or want to do, and get involved more with the process of spreading Krishna consciousness. This is the only way Krishna consciousness is going to spread around the world, and each and every devotee gets involved in this move, it'll spread fast. It's not just for people who have certain positions, it's for everyone. The pot washers, the temple cleaners, the mechanics. Just like we had our example of Jayananda. And Jayananda, he used to fix automobiles and work on various types of maintenance for the temple. But whenever he could, he was always talking about Krishna consciousness to whoever was around. There's one story where he was underneath a car, fixing the car from underneath, and he was preaching to people who were standing outside. So he never really stopped his mood. And Prabhupada said, actually, Prabhupada gave him, after he left the body, Prabhupada gave him a very special position within our society. We honor his disappearance. I think he's the only devotee in our movement that was, at least during the time when Prabhupada there, that Prabhupada gave an honorary day for his disappearance worship. So yeah, it's very dear to the Lord. We make some sacrifice. So the question is, we make some sacrifice and we expect everything to go real nice. It may not go real nice. It may go difficult. It might be difficult. But then that difficulty doesn't cause a person to give up. That's the point. It's not like we try for difficulties, but it'll come. It may come.
And Maharaj, also we put Jayananda Prabhu's picture on the Rath Yatra cards.
Yeah. Yeah, his disappearance day is celebrated one day before the Lord Nrsingadev's appearance.
Really powerful. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Sri Devi, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ansuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances or glories to Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, as I was listening to you speak about the need to spread Krishna consciousness, the need to give this message to others, I was wondering, those of us who are given that service of preaching, giving classes, so on, let me speak of myself. We may become so absorbed in only doing that service that we are not so good at other things, such as, say, deity worship. We don't know all the intricacies of deity worship. We don't know how to say all those mantras, how to do all those procedures properly and everything. So, as devotees in our Krishna consciousness movement, worship of the deity form of the Lord is very important part of our worship. So how we should see that, how we should improve that also and become good in that.
It's you created a hypothetical question, pretty much. You created a scenario. It doesn't mean because you're preaching you can't do you're doing that. But even if you are preaching, it's not necessary. As Prabhupada said, for the preachers, that there's no rules and regulations, but he said don't take advantage of it. I know devotees who are great preachers, but they can't work computers. So, like me, I don't know how to work computers. So good. I have to call somebody every time I get stuck at something. So, and there's other people also there's different areas. But as it says here, the verse is self-explanatory. What else? What else do you have to try for? Everything is there.
So it's okay to do as whatever simple level of deity worship we are capable of and continue with the services given to us by the spiritual master. Is that right?
Obviously.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridevi. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead. I'm trying to Trudy. Mataji, I don't know if that's your
Trupti. Sorry,
Okay.
Mataji. Trupti, yes. Hare Krishna, Mataji, and my obeisances to Gurudev and to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, enjoying the class every day. One thing I just like to, it's my thoughts about, only yesterday I saw, for first time I saw the movie that some American producer have done on Prabhupada movie. It's all about his life and actual events when it happened, when he went in the boat to New York and everything. And it was so emotional, brought tears to my eyes, and how everybody saying that how much we have no idea how hard he worked for us to achieve this where we are, to get Sankirtan, get Prabhunam, get Harinam, spread the movement. And the mood of sacrifice, as you said, is that it's so difficult, but we have to do it because he worked so hard for us. And that's all I wanted to say, that and also about spreading the name, that recently, as I said, since last year, I've joined the ISKCON movement. I become Krishna consciousness, and I start doing my tilak every morning when I do my 16 jap and all my deity puja and everything. And when I'm out and about, obviously, I don't take it off unless when it's end of the day, when it comes off. And people see me with this, and like this morning, I was out at the post office, and they see me, and they said, "Oh, so you've been to the temple?" And and as soon as somebody asks me question anything about my tilak, I'm just eagerly waiting to tell them about what I'm doing, and explaining to them and everything. It just automatically comes from me. It never happened before, but it just comes from me. And it just say, I tell them what I do and when I started and how they can benefit from this. And I tell them that, I was telling them, I said, I must rush home because I need to join my class and everything. And I said, I can send you the link. You can join the class to understand Gita and all these things. So yes, we should do anything little. Sometimes we do it unconsciously. We're spreading the name. And I think that is even important. So that's all I wanted to say. Just share my resolution for today. And thank you. Hare Krishna.
You both. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah. Train up some other people to think like you also.
Yes.
Very
Prabhu.
nice. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice.
Train up your sister.
Thanks. Yes, my sister, Shyama Devi Mataji. Yes, actually, she was the inspiration, and my two children, my son and my daughter-in-law, they, in life, usually they say the parents' examples children follow. But in my life, it happened other way. I followed my children's footstep because they joined Krishna consciousness when they were in university in Birmingham. And that is about 20 years ago. And obviously being Vaishnava, born in India, being in Vaishnava family and doing puja of Krishna and everything, it was different. And then recently, all these years, I've been supporting them, but I never physically joined this. And something happened after my 60th birthday. I don't know what happened, and I've decided that no, this is my full concentration should be on Krishna consciousness. This is it. This is Paramatma Satchidanand, and there's nothing else I need to do if I do this. And I joined. So I followed I have to thank my children, my sister, all of them. So as they said, I have so many people I have to thank to bring me to this. And Guruji, obviously, topmost. Hare Krishna to you. My obeisances to you too, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Beautiful sharing. This is like a nice testimony for us to carry throughout our day and be inspired. Thank you so much. Bhikkhu Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept our Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I just want to reflect and comment, but also hear your views. Parikshit Maharaj took the punishment, and we got Srimad Bhagavatam for humankind. On the other hand, it gave in the bargain, Kali thrived and survived. I think Kali would not have been successful in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. So, as you said, the Lord has a plan. And on one hand, we got Srimad Bhagavatam. On the other hand, we are suffering from the work of Kali. And it's hard to understand, but I think Lord's plan is absolutely right, and we take it. I just thought to share this, but if you have a comment on this imbalance, it would help.
Well, obviously, there's 4 ages. Kali Yuga is one of the age. So these ages go on no matter who is the instrument for ushering them in, because they'll get in somehow. So that's inevitable. It's like you say, well, you might live in the world, and you have spring, you have summer, you have fall, you have winter. You don't like the winter, but it's going to come anyway. It's going to come anyway, because it's part of the higher arrangement. So Kali Yuga is also part of the features of how the material world treats the conditioned souls in different eras of that cycle. It's a cycle. Keeps happening over and over again. That's the material world. It's going to happen whether it was brought in by Maharaj Parikshit or it was brought in by someone else. And the example is when Arjuna refused to fight, Krishna did say one thing that was interesting. He said, whether you fight or not, doesn't matter. All of these people on this battlefield are going to die anyway, because that's my will. So Krishna's will pervade. Krishna's plan for the material energy will work according to him. So it's not like if Maharaj Parikshit acted in a different way, Kali Yuga would have not come in. It would have came in maybe a little bit later through another portal, but it would have been here. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the material energy.
Thank you. I think, as you rightly say, Kali would have made its way irrespective later on. Yeah. So it makes sense.
And 40 Koti Pranam Maharaj. Yesterday my grandson came. He's 19 and he joined in the Pandav Sena. And he asked me the question.
Who's speaking?
Oh, I'm Prabhavati, Bhikkhu's wife.
Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandson, we are talking about the Parikshit Maharaj and the gold. And I told him, my grandson, there are many, many devotees, they don't wear gold nowadays. And I don't wear as well. So he says, then why there is so many temples made of gold? And uh, they put all ornaments of gold to the deities. So I don't know how to explain him. And I said, so many temples is made of gold. So he said, why not? I said, the Kali is in the gold. That's why. So can you answer this question, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Maharaj?
Yeah. When we were in New Vrindavan, we built a palace for Srila Prabhupada.
Mhm.
And the palace contained gold leafing, very valuable and rare marble, many other valuable ornaments, chandeliers. For the pure devotee or for the Lord, we give him the best.
Okay.
But people who complain about that, generally they're envious because they say it's for me, not for God. Well, God doesn't need it, but I do. So it's a statement of, usually they're envious because God has it and we don't. So that's how it usually plays itself out. So they may not say they're envious or not, but they have that element. Why should the Lord have all of these nice things? Well, because everything belongs to him anyway.
Yes.
And when you want to worship the Lord, just like there's some temples, they I won't say where, and they have deities there, and they give the deities peanuts and raisins and sugar candy, and then they go home and eat pakoras and chutney and puris and everything else. But the deity gets peanuts, raisins, and sugar candy. So yeah, so they don't. That's not worship. That's actually what do you call it? It's not worship at all. It's just another form of disrespect, I think. The Lord should get the best, because he is the best. He's the best of the best.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the questions, Hare Krishna. Yes, Sonal Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances to all the devotees as well. I had this question since last few days. It's been bubbling up in my mind. Since I'm attending the classes regularly and regular reading and everything is going on. It's just a thought that, say, in material world, when we accept a profession, say becoming a doctor, we have this responsibility to gain full knowledge and then deliver the service to others. So since we have accepted Prabhupada as our guru, and since we are following this path, it is our responsibility in an equal way to gain the knowledge fully and then to pass on the knowledge to others. Is it right understanding?
Yeah. Prabhupada said, preacher means reader. You want to preach, just read, read, read. And after a while, you become fixed. You start learning the philosophy, you start developing it, a real attraction for this knowledge. Because when you read more and more, you start to really understand more and you actually enjoy it. This knowledge is not only important, but it's joyful. It brings transcendental happiness. But when you start doing that more and more, then you start thinking, wow, I should give it to others. It becomes automatic. So just read, read, read.
Well, right now the reading is happening, but I'm still very hesitant to preach to anyone. It's still it's still, I don't think that I have got enough knowledge to preach others. I
Krishna
I
will
don't
help.
know when we reach that stage, but
All you have to do, Prabhupada gives the example of Malati's little girl. When the movement was first beginning, Malati had a little girl named Saraswati. So she's about 5 years old. She used to run around during the Sunday feast. And she would go up to someone and say, do you know Krishna? Sometimes they would say no, and she would say, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. And then she'd run away. Prabhupada really liked that. Just see, he said, just this little girl. She knows, she doesn't know so much, but she knows Krishna is the personality of Godhead. So whatever you know, that's good enough.
yeah, I'm finding it very difficult to even talk to anyone about it. I don't know why it is. I think that I just don't know anything to convince anyone else. So
Well, you don't have to be, there's so many ways you can reach out to people in terms of bringing them closer to Krishna consciousness. You can distribute prasadam. That's one way. You can, I don't know, you can write articles if you feel like personal. You sit down and write an article, or yeah, there's like, we came up one time, we were in a group, we were discussing how many different ways we could think of it to preach Krishna consciousness. We came up with over 40 different ways. So there's many ways that you could reach out. It's not that you have to sit on the Vyasa-san and, become a great orator. That's there, but there's many other ways. Lord Chaitanya told the Brahmana from Kurma Brahmana, he said, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. Whoever you meet, teach them to chant Hare Krishna. So I'll give you an example. What you could do is that when you carry some mantra cards or some invitations to the temple, wherever you go, when you meet someone, you become a little bit friendly with them, you can then pass them a mantra card like that. That's one way devotees, they carried paraphernalia books with them. They meet someone, they get a little friendly, and then they introduce them to Krishna consciousness through literature. That's just an example to get you started there.
thank you, Maharaj. And the second part of the question is, it is a necessity to spread Krishna consciousness one way or the other. Since
Yeah.
we have followed this path, is it right? Because otherwise we'll have all the knowledge and we'll just keep it to ourselves. That's not going to take us anywhere. Is it right?
You can't keep it to yourself. You lose it. The Bhagavad Gita explains, Krishna book explains, unused knowledge is like a water pot with a hole in it.
Mm.
Seeps out, you lose it. You want to keep it, spread it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it very clear. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you for the beautiful question. Really nice. Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions from devotees? Has been really, really nice questions, really inspiring questions, actually, and and we all are learning from it, I'm pretty sure. Any other questions from devotees? Look, going down the list so I don't miss anyone. Okay, if there isn't, Marge, would you like to end with a round of chanting?
Let me see. Yes, but something's happening here, and I'll have to break at a certain point to do something. That's upcoming. So I'll stay on as long as I can.
Okay.
And when I have to break, I'll break for about 2 minutes, and then I'll be back.
All right, Marge.
Yeah. It's a very important topic today, so devotees should think about this and not just make it just one of the many lectures you hear. As Prabhupada explains, There are two kinds of devotees: those who are only concerned about their own spiritual life, and those who are concerned about the spiritual life of others. And he says, those who, it's a preaching movement. It was started in that way, and it's meant to continue. And it's Lord Chaitanya's desire to spread this all over the world. So, as devotees of Lord Chaitanya, we want to assist him in his desire to give Krishna consciousness to everyone. That's our service to him, to assist him. And he empowers anyone who has a little bit of a desire to do something. We don't have to worry about qualifications. I'll give you an example. Of course, I'm not a great preacher, but I do something. I try. But when I was in school, going as a kid, when they would ask me to stand in front of a class and speak, I would shake so much, turn different colors, and couldn't say anything. I would never be able to speak in public. It was impossible for me to do that. There are people also who have that same nature, and they get right. The public speaking is frightful. And I was like that. But somehow or other, I thought, well, got to do it. Whether I like it or not. I tripped over my untied shoelaces many times. Still tripping a little bit here and there. But the point is, that once we do it, and we'll start to see that Krishna is there to inspire us and guide us. He helps. You're not alone.
Marge, it's interesting that you were sharing about, what you went through when you were a child. I could definitely relate to that because I was just like that. I was not a public speaker. I cannot speak in front of everybody because I was a really bad in stammer. I used to stammer like crazy.
Mhm.
So I was very embarrassed. I was very, very, very embarrassed. So I would only speak at home. I don't speak because I was always stammering. But for some divine intervention, joining Krishna consciousness and just somehow it's slowly, minimized greatly, but I was a bad stammerer.
Yeah, your Guru Maharaj also, he was also the same way. And later on, he was preaching to people all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true, Marge.
Yeah. I couldn't even think of anything to stammer about. I would just get scared and shut up. Like,
Marge is amazing because, I'm seeing two devotees here sharing, Sita Rani said that she had the same thing. Sri Devi said that she had this, what I'm trying to get to her comment here, that she was extremely shy and nervous and hypersensitive, and somehow when we join Krishna consciousness and by the mercy of the spiritual master, all these things get pushed away.
yeah, it's not that we become like verbose or just really brash, or we just go the opposite way. No, we also think how to speak in such a way that it's the most effective. So all that comes by practice and Krishna's mercy. Okay, I'm going to take my little 10-second break here.
Sure, Marge.
I'll be right back. You pull it.
Sri Devi, I would have not known that about you, knowing your personality.
Krishna
I'm
pushed,
telling you,
pushed, and pushed.
seriously,
I was,
seriously.
no, I was a prime candidate for bullies because I was a crybaby. Any little thing, and the tears would come like Ganga. Was such a crybaby. Any little thing, so sensitive. But Krishna just pushed and pushed and pushed, and here I am.
Amazing. Amazing. Even my dad, because he, of course, fathers, he knew that I was a very, very bad stammerer. And just lately he was telling me, it's, I mean, like probably 10, something, 20 years ago. He noticed that it's not there, but when I was young, it was very embarrassing for me. Really embarrassing.
Can I just comment?
Please, Prabhu.
What you say, I can reflect. My son, he's a dentist. He teaches other dentists. He speaks. He lectures. But when he was a toddler, and like you, he had stammer. So we had a medical checkup done. In the end, it was through prayers of my wife and sincere kind of efforts to God that it disappeared. Now today he can speak without any hesitation. With me, I can speak. I don't fear about speaking. It just needs some preparation. Although sometimes you can have trembling feet, but I think the other point is Maharaj is back, so I will stop there.
Next time.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yay, here we go. Yay. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. We'll get the sandash in the refrigerator. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. On the plate. Put it on the plate. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for such a wonderful, thought-provoking class, and thank you for the devotees for joining us. I just got a quick announcement by Srimati that tomorrow Maharaj is going to be giving a class at 8 a.m. And I think that is with Hare Krishna Africa, Maharaj, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. UK time. So please do mark your calendars for that. We will definitely send the reminder tonight and tomorrow, but want to give you guys a heads up. So please do mark your time, your date, whatever you have planned for tomorrow. And we thank all of you again for joining us. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Vancha Krapatubhyascha, Kripasindabevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo. Oops, sorry. Maharaj has something to say. I'm sorry, Maharaj.
Just a quick one. Send me the schedule for the 29th of June.
Yes, Marge. Actually, I'm still trying to work on it, but I was going to ask you what time will you be coming? Like, do we bring you the day before? So then I can plan that day accordingly, Marge.
Well, I don't know. I was going to try to work that out according to the schedule. So.
Oh, okay, Marge. I will try to finalize the whole thing by this weekend and I'll let you know, Marge, since that's how it's going to work. Is that okay?
I'll come prior to the program. I just have to see.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely, March. Thank you. Vanchakapadibyascha, Kripasindhabevcha, Patitanam Pavinebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai. Hari
Thank you,
Hari Bol.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Jai.
See you all tomorrow for African Zoom. The
Hey.
verse
Yes,
Hari
Guru.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.
want to read ahead. It's 2nd Canto, 10th chapter, verse 41, 2:10:41 for tomorrow's class.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you,
Please
Guru
accept
Maharaj.
me.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hari Hari Bol.